Welcome back to the Achilles channel, everyone. Today we're talking about the fundamental transformation of the United States of America, Barack Obama's promise to the people of this country. And the people of the world, really, because the world is really interested in the United States transforming, our country transforming from an imperialist empire to a socialist centerpiece for the world. They're creating socialism and communism in the United States of America. And they're doing it through crisis. They're creating crisis and then pretending to be the ones that are going to change the crisis when in reality they created it. And they're creating a reformation. They're changing the hearts and minds of the American people about who we are and what we're supposed to be. And we've talked a little bit about this. We've talked about creating the Reformation. The Reformation idea comes from Saul Alinsky. William Ayres wanted to take this fight into the streets. He wanted to create revolution in the streets, and it failed. It backfired. It turned focus. It turned the eye onto them, and that I always equate that to Lord of the Rings. You know, the eye, and they created a disturbance, and the eye focused on them. When Saul Alinsky wanted them to, what Saul Alinsky wanted them to do was to sneak in the back door, work within the system. And what they're trying to create, let me just read this real quickly to you, the words are small, but what they're trying to create is to get everybody to believe this. So the very first question people in this country must ask in considering the question of revolution is where they stand in relation to the United States of America as an oppressor nation. Where do they stand? How do you get people to believe this? You create crisis. You create foreign policy that creates the illusion of an oppressor nation. You create wars that sends the illusion that we are an oppressor nation. Not wars that you go in and you kick butt and you win and you stomp out true oppression. No. You go in and you drag this war out for years, until people get disenchanted. People get disillusioned with the system. Why are we still there? Confusion. The primary task of a revolutionary struggle, this is the reason why they're doing all of this. So the very first page of you don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows. Right on the first page. The primary goal here is to extract money from the world. Is to give power to a few people. To redistribute wealth. And what that creates is a political class. A monarchy. A dictatorship over the rest of the world. They will be the arbiters of our hard work and taxes to the rest of the world. They will redistribute our wealth. They will. So that means they must get the wealth. They'll have it. The problem with this whole deal is that, like I've said many times, people are fundamentally corrupted by power. When these people get the power, they're not going to do which they fantasize that they would. They're creating a utopia for themselves. A political class where they live above everyone. The rules, the laws do not apply to them. They will have all the wealth under the guise of redistributing wealth. Taking care of people that we've stolen this from. Which is funny to me is that, listen, just let me read this. The primary task of the revolutionary struggle is to solve the principal contradiction on the side of the people of the world. It is the oppressed peoples of the world who have created the wealth of this empire, and it is to them that it belongs. The goal of the revolutionary struggle must be to control and use this wealth in the interest of the oppressed peoples of the world. Doesn't that sound great? We're going to take the money from the oppressors and we're going to give it back to the people they stole it from. But you know what they leave out in all of this? Is these third world countries have leaders. They have leaders. These leaders are the true oppressors of those people. They have accepted trade policies that enrich themselves and enslave their people. But they don't mention them, because these are the people that they take on as allies, like Hugo Chavez, Castro. All of these people they hold in high regard, because they've been able to control their population, whereas the progressives in the United States of America just happen to have the misfortune of living in a country where the people are free and the people have the power. But that's no longer. That's changing. That is the change that we are getting. They don't talk about those leaders. They embrace those leaders. We will destroy America so that we can help your people, because we have kept your people down, when they know damn well that their leaders have oppressed their own people. They have oppressed them. And they're jealous that they have not been able to control us. But they're doing it now. Let me read one more part to this that I thought was great. The goal is the destruction of U.S. imperialism and the achievement of a classless world. World communism. Winning state power in the U.S. will occur as a result of the military forces of the U.S. overextending themselves around the world and being defeated piecemeal. Struggles within the U.S. will be a vital part of this process. Destroy the military. Overextend the military. That's how the Roman Empire was destroyed. They are looking back in history, but they're not looking back in history to see what works. They're looking back in history to see how other empires failed. What was the reason for the failure of Rome, the collapse of Rome? It was the overextension of their military through debt. You can't pay for these wars. Obviously, we're borrowing for them. They have taken history, and they've gone back in history and looked at how to collapse us. And they've done it. Through creating a democracy, through social programs. This is all that happened. From taking power from the people and putting it in the hands of the executive branch. That's what they're doing. It's pretty amazing. Around the world and being defeated piecemeal. Struggle within the U.S. will be a vital part of this process. But when the revolution triumphs in the U.S., it will have been made by the people of the whole world. For socialism to be defined in national terms within so extreme and historical an oppressor nation as this is, only imperialist national chauvinism on the part of the movement. So they're doing it. They're creating this here in America, and they've been doing it for quite some time now. All of the people who wrote this and tried to push this forth, now work hand in hand with our government. Hand in hand in the system of the United States of America. Jones, what's his name? Jeff Jones, Apollo Alliance. They helped write the stimulus package. He was a Weather Underground member. William Ayers, he teaches in the universities, teaches our children this philosophy, that we are an imperialist nation. We are an oppressor nation. And then Dorn, Bernadine Dorn, she's over there, provoking Israel, making Israel look bad, organizing flotillas to try to break up blockades, legitimate blockades. They're doing it. God bless America.